Hi folks, and welcome everybody to your podcast, A World Tour. A podcast just dedicated to languages and people, because that's what matters, people. Because sometimes we think that languages are just things that can divide us, those barriers that keep us apart from people. But actually, if you can manage them, languages can be bridges that can help you to build really meaningful relationships with people who speak different languages than you. So, this is our first episode. I'm super excited to share with you guys all the passion that I have about languages. So, I'm really a little bit nervous because I recorded and I built all the podcast idea around a year ago. You know, life got in the way and I just wasn't able to upload any podcast so far. So, actually, here I am, a year and a half later, releasing my first episode, and I'm super excited and I'm super happy that all of you guys can be part of this. So, well, let's get started. Let's get right into it. Today we're going to talk about something that I really love, okay? I'm going to be sharing with you guys 14 tips for those who are learning a new language. Okay? So, let's get right into it.
Olá a todos e bem-vindos ao
Salut et bienvenue dans un tour du monde.
Hallo alle zusammen und willkommen zu einer Welttour.
Halo semuanya, selamat datang di World Tour.
大家好，欢迎来到世界之旅。
أهلا بكم جميعا في جولة حول العالم.
Hi everyone, and welcome to a world tour.
Hola a todos y bienvenidos a World Tour. The first tip that I have for you guys, you have to check your motivations. The first tip, it's about you. You have to put yourself in front of a mirror and ask yourself, why do I want to learn this language? Maybe it's just a hobby, or maybe it's for obligation, or because I just fell in love with that Latin girl, or maybe it's just because you like the language. Anyway, this is one of the most powerful things. When you know your reasons, or when you have a good reason, it's easier for you to commit and you will be able to reach your goals easily. And it will be harder to get discouraged because you can remind yourself about your reasons and you can keep going. Number 2, no more excuses, just commit. Do you know what people say when they want to lose weight? They say, oh, I'll start to work out next month, or I'll start the diet next Monday, or I don't have enough time. The gym is too expensive. But in Spanish, we have a saying, and it's more or less like that. El que quiere puede. If you want to, you can do it. The same with languages. Sometimes we spend more time looking for excuses than actually committing to really learn. Sometimes we say, it's too hard, I can't do it, I wasn't born for that, I don't have the language gene. I've heard that I don't have the language gene. But what I am telling you guys also works for everything in life. It's stop putting excuses like I did when I had to release this first episode and just commit to it. You can do it, guys. I believe in you. Number 3, practice every day. So let's say that you have already started with all this and you have picked your language you want to learn, you have your motivation set and you have everything ready, and you started to realize that you're not understanding anything, or maybe you're doing something wrong. The best strategy for doing what you want to do, which is learning something new, it's an Asian philosophy called Kaizen, which is composed for 2 words, 2 Japanese words. The first one, it's Kai, which means change. And the second one, it's Zen, which means for good. The whole concept is an extended philosophy, but I can break it down into these simple words. Do little changes every day, and by time, you will see big improvements in your life. The same thing with languages. If you commit to practice 30 minutes per day, at the end of the year, you will have been practicing for around 180 hours. This is the power of the accumulation. This is the power of the Kaizen. You can just take out 30 minutes of your social media time and start to learn that language. It's just that easy. You can do it, guys. Number 4. Communication over perfection. Did you already start to learn Spanish? And it's really frustrating because you make a lot of mistakes. Is it hard for you to remember every single word or every single gender? Or you are struggling with the conjugation of the 16 verb tenses that we have? Well, let me tell you that it doesn't really matter. It can sound crazy, it can sound weird, but it's true. Everybody wants to speak perfect when we are learning a new language, or we want to be just like the native speakers. But let's remember that the languages have a mainly basic purpose, which is communicate a message. Maybe if I say in English something like, what are your name? Or if I say someone who speaks Spanish something like, Universidad Estudiantes ¿Dónde? Or tu nombre qué? All these sentences are grammatically wrong. But I'm sure if you say something like this to a native speaker, they will understand you. So this is the most important thing. This is the main idea. More than having a good pronunciation or a perfect grammar or understand complex ideas or things, all of that is a plus. Because the main purpose of a language is deliver a message o llevar un mensaje. Number 5. Mistakes are learning opportunities. Everybody makes mistakes. I make mistakes, you will make mistakes, native speakers make mistakes. So you shouldn't be afraid of making some mistakes. This little mistake that you made might be a little embarrassing at the beginning, but you will never forget that error. And you will never make it again, because you will remember. So what you need is someone who can help you with that, someone with who you feel comfortable talking. You can ask them to help you to correct all your mistakes, and every mistake will be a learning opportunity. Number 6, enjoy the process. Learning a new language, it's all a journey, or maybe it can be a crossing for some people. But like every journey, the main part, it's not always the destination, but rather the view. Enjoy the process, the process of learning a new language, the people that you will meet in the way, and even better, all these new relationships that you will make, all this new knowledge and ideas and mindset that you will get because of learning a new language. And just enjoy the trip. Number 7, get obsessed. To learn a new language, you have to be very proactive in your learning process, and maybe do some things that the rest of the world will consider weird. Maybe you have to wake up early to talk with your foreign friends because they are at the other side of the world, and while you're sleeping they are working. Or maybe you have to practice in front of a mirror all those words that are hard for you to pronounce until you get them. By the way, this is really recommendable. But my point is, to learn a new language faster, you should be a little bit obsessive with your learning. You should do all these things that you think that are necessary and that will help you to learn easily. And plus tip, don't pay attention to what other people say about you. If you're crazy or if you look weird, at the end of the day, it's your learning process, not them. And as the master Taylor Swift said, haters gonna hate. Number 8. Eat, drink, and breathe the language. Well, one of the most important things when you are learning a foreign language is to make it part of your daily life. Try to have it present in the day. Try to have it present in the music that you're listening to, maybe in the book that you're reading, or even the TV shows that you're watching. Even better, in your friendship. This point will give you the real plot twist in your learning process, and you will start to live like a native will live, and you will start to understand how the language works. To make these changes, some people change the language of their devices. The most radicals are wealth ones, move to countries which speak the language that they want to learn. But that is not necessary. Having a really immersive experience, it's possible, but you have to look for it. Number 9. Take all the opportunities. This is really related to the last tip. The opportunities for learning a new language are everywhere. Maybe it's at your college, there is an exchange abroad program. Or maybe your Venezuelan friend is starting a brand new podcast about languages. The opportunities are out there. You just have to look for them. For example, a few days ago, an Instagram account that I follow was offering a free meeting with a native speaker teacher of English. So I didn't think twice and I joined. Maybe my English is good, but I don't waste any opportunity to practice and improve a little bit more every day. Number 10, and this is really related, you have to listen to podcasts with transcriptions. Just in case that you didn't know, in all the descriptions down below of this podcast, I'm going to leave a transcription, so while you're listening to this podcast, you can follow every single word that I'm saying in Spanish and in English. So this way, you can improve your reading, your listening in both languages. I make this with a lot of effort and love for you guys. So I hope that this resource is helpful for you to learn English or Spanish or whatever. So the same that I do, there are a lot of YouTube channels out there or other podcasts that include subtitles or transcriptions. So you can have a visual guide what they are talking about, and it's going to be easier for everyone to follow the ideas. Do language exchange. Well, I will make a full episode about language exchange. But what is the language exchange? Well, basically, it means to find a native partner who is a speaker of the language you want to learn and learn from them while you teach them your own language. So there are lots of different ways to do that. The most common is online with apps like Real English or Linguado or Tandem. But in my experience, I've had a lot of partners from Facebook groups. And also, actually, I'm starting my own Facebook group and my own Telegram group that you can be part of. The link is always in the description, and it's with its purpose, so you can talk and interact and exchange your language with others. 12. Create communication needs. This is a very close tip to the last one, which is to find a partner where you can exchange languages with. This will help you to create communication needs. You will want to tell them something in their own language, so you will have to figure out how to do it. For example, if my partner speaks English, and today something interesting happened to me at work, so I want to tell them what happened, I will look for the best way and the right words to tell them what happened to me. And if I don't know some vocabulary, I will make the research. If I need more words or more expressions, I will try to look for them. So all these words will stay in my memory like a meaningful learning, because I had the need to tell something and admit it. 13. Learn what works for you. Are you more visual? Do you like to have pictures and text and having them in front of your eyes so you can understand better? Or you are more like auditory. You like to listen to music and you learn mainly when a word is pronounced. Or you are kinesthetic and you learn by doing things. Do you like to study at night or do you like to study in the morning? So you have to know yourself. You have to discover what's good for you and what works for you, because everybody learns in different ways. What works for me may not work for you. But this is the beautiful thing about learning languages. You can learn a new way of communication, but in the process, you end up learning more about yourself than you think. And finally, last but not least, we have the number 14. Don't give up. Maybe it can take time. Perhaps it will be hard. Maybe you will be struggling to understand at the beginning, or it will look impossible. But I know soon or later, and with a little bit of effort and dedication, you will learn this language. And when you do it, you will be extremely happy to know that you have the knowledge and the skills to communicate with somebody in the ways that if you didn't know that language, you couldn't do it. So my best advice for you is, no matter how long it gets, don't give up, because sooner or later you will get it. So this is kinda it for today's podcast. So I hope you like it, and don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate all your support. We are in mostly all the podcast platforms. We are in iVoox, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes. You can also follow us in our social media, ourtour.podcast on Instagram and Our Tour on Facebook. My name is Alex Ross, and well, so guys, remember, body means cuerpo, no boda. carpet means alfombra, not carpeta. And carpeta